All right, so we did this battle report where I played farmers, and Chris, you decided to play fishermen and try to hook me up.
Yeah, I didn't decide to. You needed me to play fisherman to get you ready for a tournament.
Yep, so I kicked the ball off with Thresher, and I think you're allocating influence right now at this period. You want to talk about just who you have on your lineup there?
Yeah, I've got Shark, and then closest to us is Sakana, Jacques, Tentacles.
That's Shark.
And then Shark is next to Tentacles.
Then you got Grayscale.
Or
no, you got Hag.
Yeah, Hag and then Grayscales, I guess.
No, that's Siren.
Siren, okay. Well, this was a while ago, so we played this before the Cold Snap tournament as prep, and look at that completely accurate measurement with that.
God, shut up.
Awesome.
So I kicked off
measure.
with Thresher. He's the one out in front. I got Jack Straw at the bottom. I have Grace, and then if you look up, I have Millstone behind Tater, and then the Buckwheat Donkey. And you activated Jock to go get the ball, and you're...
I'm kicking just Kana.
Okay, so you were okay with putting Jack up there that far?
No, but what fucking choice do I have if I want the ball?
Okay. I'm just checking.
By the way, I was successful, and there goes some momentum in my goal.
All right, so you're on one momentum. And I think my first activation is probably going to be Millstone. That's usually my go-to. So I spend 1 to do Get Out. And then I do a 2-inch push onto Tater. And then I'm going to do a run to go ahead and also push Thresher out. I take Thresher's fat stack of 5, move it over, and then bump him 2 inches over. And then I'm going to put a harvest marker down. So the influence I have left, I have 5 on Thresher. I have 2 on Jack Straw. I think I also have 1 or 2 on Tater. And then, of course, Grace is going to auto-pop 2 influence when she activates. And it looks like you got 2 on Sakana, 1 for the blind on the Tentacles. Shark probably has close to a full stack, if not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I didn't know how much he needed, so I was like, all right, better load him up every time.
I think Hag's probably the best battery in the game because she just gets a free character play, and yeah, she's very useful.
Yeah, she is a good battery.
And it looks like you have 2 or 3 on Siren. Looks like 3. So you're kicking the ball to, is that Shark?
Yeah. I don't know, somebody.
No, Shark.
It's been a long time.
It was. So you're at 2 momentum now because it looks like you didn't use the dodge. So I'm activating Grace. I'm just going to jog up. Or I don't even jog up. I guess I'm already within 4 to do Quick Foot on Thresher, which makes him a sweet 13-inch threat.
Okay.
And then I think I see that you're going for the goal run, so I just stick.
Doesn't he have more than 13-inch threat?
No, it's 13.
Oh, okay.
More? How much more do you want?
I just feel like he's got infinite. So.
Okay, it looks like you're trying to do some Fisherman's Reel with the Hag.
Yep.
God, you and that stupid tape measure.
It's super accurate, so fuck you.
You know, I talked to Lance, and I think we're going to get Last Chance Lance to get you some widgets. So you moved Shark, but I think you second-guessed yourself because Thresher's, going to eat you.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Okay, first of all, what widgets do you know of that have 13-inch widgets?
So funny that you say that. The guys up in Greenville actually made a Thresher stick. And it's a 13-inch stick so they can lay out Thresher's threat range.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's 11. I don't think it's 13.
Well, they should market that to Warsenal or Muse on Minis. Or...
So I activate Jack Straw. I do a quick little crop dusting, hop myself over there, do some yogging. And I guess
what are you, a European now?
Yep. It's a soft J. So I just leave him there. I think he's in a pretty good spot. I'm kind of putting him out there waiting for you to score this goal with the Shark.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to just try and wait in general.
And how you're measuring Tater. Taters! What's Taters, precious?
Okay, so we got Siren out there. She's going to try and do her thing.
So you run her up for 1?
Yeah, and then I'm going to try and...
So why were you trying to lure Tater?
Okay, so here's the thing. Not a fisherman's player, just trying to help your ass out. So I'm going to make tons of mistakes throughout this, and I don't want to fucking hear your shit.
You needed 5s, but you got it.
Yep. And so what I was thinking here is, well, I'm going to just walk him away from the
harvest marker,
and then that way maybe you have to waste an activation getting back there, I guess.
I mean, I pretty much did, because I pretty much activated him next as soon as it comes back to my clock. and I'm basically going to jog them back in 4 inches just to make things difficult for you.
Oh, whoa! Was that a tape measure on your side?
No, I think that was a fluke.
I think that hypocrite. So there's that.
Yep. So I just jog them back. Once again, I'm just trying to kind of clog up the goal for you. I'm not really trying to, because Shark can get in there. There's not anything that's really going to stop him.
So this is something that I didn't really think about, but I kind of figured out and discovered as we were playing. Is the nice thing about the fish versus the farmers is they have a lot of things that they can do at 8 inches.
And why is that nice?
Well, a big one is the 6-inch countercharge with Tater, but in general, I
just want to point out that your base was a little in front of your tape measure there.
You're an idiot, because I didn't need that much movement anyway.
Cheater.
Okay, so I feel like the farmers are kind of created with a... See, and again, I'm showing you like, oh yeah, I had way more than enough than I needed.
Now, we sit here and argue for a second on, could you
Yeah,
actually
sure,
get
on
there?
my clock, trying to waste my clock.
That is the Riker maneuver.
Don't even get me started with that bullshit. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like the farmers are kind of balanced where 6 inches is their kind of magic.
So you did bonus
range.
time this,
Yep.
And you took the 5 that was off the table. You rolled off the table and you kept the 1 that was
was
off
still
the table.
on the table. It just wasn't on the mat.
What a cheater!
It's not like it rolled underneath the thing.
Chris doesn't follow any kind of dice etiquette.
That is bullshit. Everybody that plays with me, especially at a tournament, knows that I go over what my dice etiquette is before I even start rolling.
So I'm blinded with Thresher, which is like, okay, whatever. The thing is, I already have quick foot on him, so it really doesn't matter. It just probably saves Jock's life here probably in a minute.
Yeah.
I dodged the donkey back. Once again, I'm just trying to clutter up the scoring lane just to make sure you're losing at least 1, if not 2 dice.
Dumbass donkey.
Yep. Oh, wait till you guys see this donkey. Beautiful.
Fucking jackass.
Exactly. All right, and Chris is taking a little bit of time here, but this is probably maybe your second game with fish?
Yeah, I don't really play him.
Well, because
probably my second game, like, with another one being months beforehand.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you played that Corsair list. And though, as we were playing this, I do feel like this is a decent drop into Thresher. Just like you said, all the 8-inch character plays, and then Shark's just zipping all over the place.
Yeah.
And you guys are gonna see here this turn and next turn just kind of what Shark's gonna do to me. It's bad things. I don't know quite what you're doing here.
I'm making sure I can move Shark without getting into the 6-inch bubble.
Well, I think you're trying to check your avenues here, but I think you realize you're probably out of 8 from scoring right there. Yeah, you're checking it out.
Yeah.
So you have to take kind of a more direct approach.
Good thing I have like a handy dandy tape measure.
I have a tape measure. It's just I use widgets because it's way more accurate, except for when you're measuring far distances.
Okay, so I'm just outside of the 6 inches. That's the goal here. I pop there, run. I've got some momentum built up at this point, which is sweet. And then I buy my tidal surge.
Which, it never feels great to use the tidal surge, but like you said, you already had the momentum, so you're like, I'm just going to kind of take the goal.
Yep. So here's a mistake with me not knowing Shark very well. Right at this point, when I come in here, I should have popped Legendary, but I didn't. I
think you would have snagged at least 3. You would have got Thresher and Millstone and Tater for sure.
Yeah.
And that would have made it where I would have to either run or charge to Jock.
Yeah.
And
then I had
knee slider,
so I went all the way back,
which always feels good.
Yeah. So you of course kick it over here by Jack Straw. As I was doing that though, just so that people at home know, yes, I did get the ball path blocked out by 1 model, but in the case of Shark, where he's normally rolling 4 die, I'm willing to take that and just roll 3. I'm still overwhelmingly likely to get a 4 success.
Yeah. So you did get the goal, so you're sitting on 3 momentum because you didn't have to spend it. I pick up the harvest marker there. I do 3 damage. That ignores Tough Hide it doesn't. It's 2 damage because it's a character play. So you take 2 damage with Don't Fear the Reaper. And then I start buying a bunch of attacks because I have a 5 stack on him. I feel like you always put 5 on Thresher unless he's just not getting anywhere, like for some reason.
Yeah, he kind of has to be the star of the show that way.
Yep. So I end up putting out some damage here. I start doing like 2 momentous damage, because I'm only tack 5 at this point. So I basically end up putting like 4 or 5 damage on him. I think by the end of it, it's probably about 6 damage on him, which brings Jack down decently low, but he has tough hide, which is annoying. So I'm up on momentum 4-3 at this point. I end up winning it. So I load up Thresher with 5. I put 4 on Tater because Tater's also in a good spot right there. 2 on Jack Straw. I always put 2 on Jack Straw. And then I think I put 1 on Buckwheat. And then that's it. And then you're throwing, of course, a fat stack on Shark. You actually, what do you got over here? You got 2 on Siren. You got 1 on, maybe 2 on Tentacles, looks like. Just so you can run and get somewhere for the
blind.
Yeah. And then it looks like you got 2 on Sakana, 1 on Jack. And that looks like it.
That sounds close to right.
Yep. So I'm buying attacks at this point on Jack. And I actually made a mistake here. I didn't pick as many high damage results as I thought. I knocked you down instead of doing damage. Because I'm like, oh, I got this. Because I kind of forget about his tough hide a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a mistake because I end up actually not killing you here, which definitely doesn't feel good.
In your face.
So I kind of get to this point, and right here with this second attack, I start buying, and I'm starting to realize, like, God, I'm not going to be able to kill this sumbitch. So I end up putting more damage on him, but then here in a second, I'm going to decide to jog back towards my team because I feel like keeping myself there is kind of a bad position. So I kind of concede the fact that I'm just getting momentum at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I take the 5 momentum for knocking you down and doing damage. But then instead of being able to kill you, because obviously I can't, I just got to jog back to my team. I can't stay over there. If I stay over there, yeah, I feel like you're just going to roll through that left side of the pitch there. So there we go, jogging back. Or maybe, yeah, that was my 5. And then I just turn it to you, and I think you're coming up for the blind here on Tatas.
Yep.
Which is so annoying. I hate being -2 tack and speed and all
Getting
this.
within an inch of the cover there.
I don't think you were, actually. I think you... Yeah, I think you're outside of it there.
Nope, I'm pointing at it. I'm saying, yes, I am.
Yep, so you hit the blind, which is annoying.
You deserve it, because Tater's OP as shit. So it just made a normal model instead of the type that he is currently, which is OP model.
Yep. So I think my next activation here is probably going to be Grace. And I think I'm going to boost up Tater's speed here in a second. I'm kind of looking here because I know if I don't activate soon, like most of your models are going to be out of my threat, and then I'm kind of SOL. So here I am tapping away. And you think Tater's going to get nerfed here in probably about a month?
Yeah, I hope he does. Thresher, Grange needs a nerf.
I don't think they're not going to nerf the Grange.
Yeah, that's just because they don't realize what's going on.
Yep. All right, so I do activate Grace. I put Quick Foot up on Tater, and I jog Grace over, and then just give it to you. And even though we're on the clock, it is worth sometimes just kind of slowing yourself down and thinking about what you are planning on doing.
So that's another thing is, by the end of this game, I didn't run out of clock, which I think is an accomplishment in and of itself, given the lack of experience with this guild. But it's good to play on the clock just to be on that habit of, if only being in the habit of activating and then clicking a clock over.
Yep, so your Fisherman's Reel over. I go ahead and activate Millstone, and I go ahead and just drop my Harvest Marker just to get another Harvest Marker out there for like counter charge and to pick up with like healing or Don't Fear the Reaper, just to have another one out there if I need it. Because I already have the counter charges live and the free counter attack with Poised for Threshers live in the middle of the pitch. So, yeah.
Do you remember back in the day, like early on when these farmers got released, when people would say stupid stuff to us like, oh yeah, you just have to run over the harvest markers. It's no big deal.
Run them over.
This is a prime example of where when somebody that knows what they're doing is placing the harvest markers, you don't place them in a position where they can get ran over.
Exactly.
Like, how could I run those over?
No way right now.
Yeah, so that's my point.
So here, you're going to activate Siren, and you're debating on luring Thresher, which I'm actually really okay with at this point. So you're going to lure him. And why were you trying to lure him? Just to get him out of the free counterattack?
Did you get the part about how I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with these guys?
I'm like, yes, please bring Thresher closer to your team. I love that. So you get it off and you make me jog. And you're going to buy an attack. You're going to gain momentum. And
I guess that's why I was like, I can at least do something to gain momentum. Pull you out of whatever where you were.
That's fair. So you end up getting, you thought it was a double push, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Oh, I know why I brought him over there. It's because I'm going to activate Sakana later, so I wanted Sakana to be within range of getting him.
Yeah, we'll see.
Over that rough ground.
Yeah,
but that's the reason.
We'll see. I don't believe you.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is where you're like, oh, I'm going to double push Thresher, but you don't have a double push with Siren.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass.
And he pushed me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a dodge there, buddy. And you're like, oh, you're right. So I think you just end up dodging out here. But at least you get one momentum for your troubles. So this is where I activate Tater. So I go ahead and basically just jog on up. Because I have movement 6 again. And I go ahead and start buying attacks. Actually, I think I charged right there. But either way, I go ahead and do the knockdown. So I knock the old octopi down. Octopus.
We shouldn't be able to knock down our octopus.
Love it. And then I end up doing like 1 damage to him and another momentous damage. So I end up getting like 3 momentum out of this. Which I feel like having Tater and Thresher right there is a pretty good deal for me anyways.
Yeah. So I guess I brought you over together, which they want to be together. So
yeah. It's going to work. I think so. Yeah, we'll see. I think it's going to work out for you here in a minute anyways, especially once you start activating the rest of your team. So this is probably the dumbest thing I've seen you do in a while. So you go ahead and you're trying to goad the Scarecrow.
Like I said, don't know what I'm doing.
I'm like, do you not know how the Scarecrow moves?
Well, I didn't want to waste it trying to run. I didn't want to waste the
momentum.
Well, I guess I did waste the momentum by standing him up anyway. But
yeah, so anyways.
I should have just walked over there.
Yeah, I end up hopping back. I do my direct jog towards you, and then I poof back to that harvest marker.
Pop and poof.
Yep, popping and poofing. And I'm just checking your charge range here to make sure Jack Straw is not in it. I just want to point out at this point, if you guys look at the top of the screen near that fast ground where Shark is, and you look at where the ball is right now, one would think that the ball is relatively safe, but you're going to see in about a turn and a half that that's not the case. I don't know if you remember what you did.
Yep, I do.
Okay.
So, yep. Oh, yeah, I got the Thresher.
Did you?
Just like my plan.
Did you?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Well, we're about to see.
So you are sitting there thinking. I don't know what you're thinking.
Oh, you know what it was? It was because I had to use 1 inch of movement to like kind of get around that fast ground.
Mm-hmm.
Or rough ground, excuse me.
So, because you...
yeah, so I was a little bit off because of that.
Oh, because you didn't have your momentum or whatever?
Yeah.
To just glide.
So now I'm just like wasting movement going back the other way.
You are like the best fisherman player ever.
Fucking fish. I actually think I could be a good fisherman player if I played him, but
so
that would mean that I have to score goals instead of beat people in the face. And that would suck.
You could play Corsair. So I take buckwheat, and then I'm going to pull up one of the harvest markers to do an extra jog. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to hold on to the ball, but I have them there just to do a score run. Because the donkey's already in threat to score a goal right there.
Okay.
So I have him there just in case I want to go ahead and try to get a run at the goal with him. Oh, hey, look, here's Mr. Shark coming on in.
Yep.
On Grace. So at this point...
Staying at 2 inches.
At this point, I'm up on the momentum race, like 6-0.
Okay.
And then this is some BS because you charged here. I think you end up getting a wrap. Because you're going to get 2 momentum off this charge. And you're going to see here in a second, I think you're just going to dodge and dodge some more.
Yep. Dodgy, dodge, dodge, dodge.
So as a butcher player, does it like kill you to get momentum with dodges and not
that's
damage?
Annoying. I should be able to damage him along the way. Pain in the ass.
Yep, so you get your like 4 inches of dodge, which is great. And this is where I see you dodge around the corner and I'm just like, fuck. I'm like, I hope I win the momentum race because otherwise you're getting another goal. So yeah, you're gonna get more momentum, and like I said, by the end of this, I'm gonna be up 6-5 on momentum, which doesn't feel great because the die roll is a fickle mistress.
Yeah, can't wait for that to be gone.
You mean the cards that are coming out at Adepticon?
Yep.
And this is the last attack. You're gonna get 1 more inch dodge to basically free yourself up for a sexy charge coming on. Push dodge. Yeah, we need to get some bigger dice for the momentum, so that way we can keep track of it. I guess you got 1 more attack.
Yeah, I had a lot.
You did. You had a full stack on them. That's okay. I'm going to take care of that in about 2 turns. All right, so we end up rolling off, and like I said, I'm up by 1. But Chris ends up winning, as you can see him putting a fat stack on Shark. Now, did you put a full stack on him just in case you rolled terrible and like didn't tackle it?
Yep.
Okay. So better safe than sorry type deal?
Yeah, that's what you always have to do.
Okay.
I'm a big believer in it's better to have 1 too many influence and waste 1 just in case some shit goes wrong than not putting enough and thinking that you were so smart by putting the exact
looks like
amount.
You got about 3 on Sakana, 1 on Jack, 2 on Siren. I think that's it. Yep. So I'm going to put 5 on Thresher here in a second just because, like I said, that's what you always do. I think I'm going to pull up 2 of these harvest markers, if not all 3. Oh, I know what's happening here. Somebody came up to the table and started like sharing their life story.
I also think I had to take a piss.
A little bit of both.
Okay, well, either way.
But anyways,
I think I left you to hear somebody's life story while I was like,
you're like, oh, well, this guy's
I'm going to use this time productively.
Bugging Pete. That's great. Yeah, so we're just kind of talking. I think it was somebody asking like actually a War Machine question. So yeah. So, but
speaking of War Machine, we'll have War Machine guy on soon.
I'm already down 4-0 because you already scored a goal. So that's great. Yeah, see, I just unpaused the clock. So actually, I pull up all 3. I think I did that because Thresher and Tater are outside of the benefit of them, and I'm planning on pushing up the pitch instead of hanging back. That way, I can try to get the ball outside of these stupid fish and their threats. So I put 2 on Jack Straw. I put 2 on the Donkey just because, like I said, he's there where he can start doing some work. I put 1 on Millstone, like I said, 5 on Thresher, and 4 on Tater.
So here I have to activate first and go into Jack Straw, otherwise he'll disappear. Right?
So I didn't counterattack here because I wanted to keep the momentum, just because I felt like with a full stack, it didn't matter if I got a successful counterattack. And Jack Straw only throws 3 dice, so I really didn't feel like it was worth counterattacking with
especially
all the stuff
at 4-1. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just not worth it.
So here I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep hitting you, and the worst case scenario is bounce around a little bit.
Yeah, so you're basically just going to farm the crap out of me here.
Yeah, and eventually I bounce into tap-in, so that was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's a... Like, at that point when you were set up over there, it was pretty much a... Like, unless the dice just went terrible and you got, like, no hits or very few hits, yeah, it was just pretty much an auto goal since you got momentum, or you got initiative. Yep, so you go ahead and roll, and you're rolling your full 4 dice, and I don't know what you're measuring there, but...
I was probably making sure I was out of threat of...
Oh, pressure. You were seeing if you needed to dodge out of there after you scored the goal. So you did score the goal, so you're up 8-0 now.
Yeah!
So the little horns are going off. And this is where I'm just like, crap, I'm going to lose to fish pretty bad here. Because at this moment, I'm just like, okay, so I have to hold the ball until I can win the game, essentially. Mm-hmm. So I just put it on Thresher, and that's where I activate first. And my goal here was I also legendary at this point. So Millstone, Tater, and Thresher all get +2 tack and Life Drinker, which Life Drinker doesn't matter for fish, but it's there, I guess. So I end up buying, I think I had to buy 3 here to kill the squid, just because I don't think I rolled particularly well on the other attacks. And he's a 4-1, which is freaking annoying.
And within the cover.
Yeah. Yep, so I end up getting 3 here, so I'm going to end up with 4 momentum after I kill the squid. And then I'm also still in range to hit Siren, so I go ahead and I whale an attack on Siren. And I think here in a second I'm just going to knock her down just to say, haha, take that, woman. Lure me to the rocks, will ya?
Okay.
So, since you do have Siren there, I think my best course of action here, as I'm kind of thinking about it, I could either keep it on Thresher, but the better play was to put it over here on Tater, because he charms the females.
He does.
Like, hey, ladies. Hello, ladies.
Wow, why do you gotta make it creepy like that?
You don't remember Val Venus? Do you remember him? The wrestler?
Yeah, okay.
He was the ladies' man.
Wow.
He goes, hello, ladies. So I end up kicking it to him. It's successful, but I dodge him up to put him next to cover. Also, if I put a harvest marker down in my next activation, it'll bring counter charge back live. And I just engage the 2 ladies with Thresher because Thresher is a scary guy.
So one thing that I was thinking is I probably should have put 3 on Siren just because if you're going to hide the ball, she can make you kick it away.
Yeah.
And that could have been a positive thing for me to do. But I didn't because...
You didn't know where the ball was going to be at that point.
Well, no, but also because I just don't know the fish as well. So I think that that's a good technique in general to say, okay, well, load up Siren on any turn where you think somebody's going to try and hide the ball from you.
Yeah.
And that way she can get within... How close does she have to be for that thing?
It's 8 inches. For
No,
lure.
6. Seduce, to pass.
Oh, yeah.
Because ideally, it's not so much that I want to jog you someplace else. It's that I want you to just kick it someplace else. So I bring Hag over here. I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll get some crowd outs or kill the counter charge.
Yeah, so I think
like that.
I think you fisherman reel her out of Thresher's melee.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, you just come up basically to be annoying and engage my 2 models.
Yep.
Because she has Fia.
I shouldn't have engaged Thresher. I should have just engaged because Thresher's already gone.
Yeah.
I should have just engaged Tater, but whatever.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what I've got going on here next. So I think I'm just kind of looking at the board, trying to figure out what to do. The ball's in a pretty good spot for me because Sakana and Jack really can't get to it. So I think if I play this right, I should run Millstone to Hag and then put a harvest marker down just to activate all my stuff again. Oh no, I think do I go with the donkey?
Yeah, so instead of activating Hag there, maybe it would have been better for me to just go with... Well, no, because then I would have lost Siren. But
okay, so I do activate the donkey and I end up running him around. And I buy an attack on your big boy there, Shark. And I think I get 1 or 2 successes, so I knock you down and I do the mule kick 4 inches. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to push him out of the picture, but don't forget he's there, folks, because that's going to come up later. It's so funny. If anybody knows the farmers, I think you know what's going to happen at the top of turn
3.
Turn 3. No, this turn, that'd be turn 4, because this is turn 3 right here. Let's see here. So the donkey did that. I think you're trying to figure out what to do with Siren, or I mean, because you don't have a real great piece to go next.
Yeah, I don't. Siren's probably the best one just because of the potential threat from Tater.
So I think you just move Jack here, and I think you decide to just run him and heal him is what I think you do here.
Yeah, and I did get engaged with Jack Straw, which, I mean, is pointless, but at least I felt like I was being busy.
I mean, it's not bad to have him over there just in case the ball finds its way there. All right, so...
That was a huge waste of influence on Sakana.
Yeah, because I'm just going to kind of, just leave that area. So I just move Millstone over. I'm keeping out of Sakana's threat. And then I just put a harvest marker down just to basically activate Tater's stuff. I can also just use it as I need to. I got to put the enchiladas away. That's not some weird
metaphor.
Yeah, it's just I actually have to put them away because Rena forgot.
Thank you for sharing that with the community.
I just got a text. I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. Where are we? Who's activating?
Siren.
Are we playing Guild Ball? Is that what's going on?
And so she walked up here.
So you're trying to
lure.
Why are you trying to lure me? Just to move closer to Sakana, I guess.
I guess, I don't know.
I think you missed though because you needed 5s. Yeah, you did. So I was like, sweet. So I just checked Sakana's range just to see if there's anything else you can really dick with. I jog over there. I'm gonna do some popping and poofing again. Because I'm like, fuck this flank. So I'm just checking to make sure that you can't run over any of my harvest markers. And I just put them over there just because that's a stronger position to try and hide the ball or get the ball if I need it.
So here I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go get in at least this cover so I can set up for the next turn.
Yeah, so that way you can charge from that cover next turn.
Well, this way I can walk over if I have to. I also can charge out the other way. I probably should have put it more toward your other models.
Yeah.
And just keep the corner of that
and
cover.
Since I took out the octopus, I mean, I'm down 8-1 at this point. Because remember, mascots only give you 1. So I basically just run up Grace, and I just put her in there just to get another gang up, pretty much. So I activate Tater here, and I'm starting to wail on her. I had to spend 2 to buy the attack, though. So, let's see what I picked here. I think I will go ahead and knock her down at this point, or did I just do damage? So I didn't knock her down. I think I just ended up doing some damage to her just to get some momentum. Just because I want to win this so I can make sure I can set up well on the next turn. So I end up doing a momentous 3 and a momentous 1, so I get 2 more momentum out of it. And then that's the turn. Oh no, it's not the turn yet. I jogged over. So I jogged over there to try to hide the ball better from Jock, whatever his name is.
Jacques.
Yeah, so I
think it's like Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah. So that the ball is not in the center of the pitch; it's actually on Tater, and there we go. So we moved it. So I definitely win momentum pretty easily. So I put 5 on Thresher, 4 on Tater. I'm gonna put 2 on the donkey over here, and I put 2 on Jack Straw. And I think that's it. I don't think I had any left over there. So it looks like you put 4 on Sakana, is that right?
Yeah, I figured Sakana is probably the model that would be able to get most of anything done.
So who's coming on? Is that... Oh, that's goddamn Tentacles. He's one of the most useful mascots in the game.
So I load up Shark just because I need to...
I don't think you loaded him... Oh, no, I think you did. So you do put a bunch of influence on him, so I'm just like, my eyes kind of light up right there, because you're definitely within basically the kickback range.
Mm-hmm.
So I just end up Yep, it looks like a jog up over there.
So yeah, you walk on over and then you attack him. And your goal is to kick me off the board.
Yep, and that ended up... And so I didn't buy another attack because I...
Well, here you kind of fucking cheat because you rolled and then moved him to where you...
So this is where we have our argument, right, of intent.
I'm just saying, you want to be the intent doesn't matter guy, so...
Yeah. Anyways, so I kick Shark off the board, which doesn't feel good for Chris.
It's not like it really matters from the standpoint that, like, Shark probably wasn't going to go get the ball, but obviously losing the victory points is the...
Well, not only that, but you just lose the momentum as well. Like, the momentum is just... Like, you can't generate... That's 4 or 5, 6, whatever you had on him that you can't generate any momentum with, which he's the one that just hugely generates momentum.
So here I try to make him kick off the board.
This is actually pretty slick. I thought you were going to have me kick somewhere else, and kicking off the board I thought was a pretty slick move for you. So you kick it off the board, which means it's going to scatter in the middle, Which, if it scatters towards Sakana, I mean, we might be saying, turn the lights off. This one's over.
Well, no, because you still would have been able to activate, what's his name?
Thresher?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's in a way better spot for you. But I end up getting pretty lucky here, and it actually scatters towards Thresher. Well, no, I guess not.
It just scatters to a neutral spot. Let's put it that way.
So I end up activating Jack Straw here. Because I'm like, yep, let's go ahead and put the ball basically back where it was. So I'm just kind of lining up some harvest markers here just to see where I can go. So I want to get as far back as I can. So I'm going to basically do it where I get my free jump there, and then my end to activation jump will be back towards Thresher and Taters. And this is just kind of where you got to get used to kind of moving quickly with the farmers. I know it seems like I'm kind of wasting some time here, but this is actually... Because remember, if Chris scores one more time, I'm done. So I had to spend the extra time just to make sure I could get this in the right spot.
An important thing here, too, for players is you jump to the first hay bale, and then you had to move, so that uses up your movement.
Snap.
And then you jump to the other one at the end.
Yeah, because teleporting is a place, it doesn't count for you snapping up the ball.
Yeah.
So it is important to make sure that you use your jog to snap up the ball and then go back to the other harvest marker. So that was a good move on your part, though. I mean, it was pretty rough for me. I had to go out of my activation order there. Good news is Thresher sees him a target. I think you're going to try to blind Tater again.
Yeah, so I wasn't within range of Sakana charging
the
ball, and so that was just difficult.
Yep, so you end up putting blind on Tater again, which is freaking annoying. Let's see here. I'm activating Tater. So I spent 2 to hit the hag. So I end up doing some damage to her. Buy another one. Do some more damage to her. And knock her out. And then I just jog up to kind of put Tater in a pretty solid position. He's in good countercharge threat. You're doing something with Jack Shock here. So why'd you move him back all the way to the rock?
I don't know. So, yeah, don't know.
Okay. I would have gone over and abused the donkey.
Smack that ass.
That's right. So Thresher is going into Siren. So I got 3 points now because I took out Hag. Actually, no, I took out Shark, so I got 5 points this time. So, and then I'm basically, since I got a full stack with Thresher, there's no way I'm not going to kill Siren here. Basically just because if I do whiff on this a little bit, I have a harvest marker there to do Don't Fear the Reaper. So, I mean, there's almost no way I'm not killing her with Thresher with a full stack, one-on-one. So I think at this point I'm milking it out. I'm doing like 2 momentous damage. That way I can get a full 5 momentum off of this. Yep, and there she goes. So at this point, I got 7 victory points to your 8. So this is where it's like a lot closer, and you can see that it's definitely a problem.
Yep, and there's definitely an element of pace to these games where you can see wild swings in points if you mismanage where people are placed and that sort of thing. Here I'm trying to bring him around, keeping him within tap-in. Hopefully I'm able to
set up like a snapshot.
A snapshot or something like that, yeah.
Okay. So I'm definitely winning the race again. As far as momentum goes.
Yep.
So at this point...
And I'm also a little bit low on time at this point. So I don't clock myself in this game, but I am getting low on time just because it takes you more time to think about what you're doing when you're not familiar with a guild. So here I am kind of in the zone where I'm like, okay, well, how do I push it and hopefully get everyone back here and get a quick score in a few minutes.
Yeah, so I think I'm up like at this point. Trying to figure. Oh, so that wasn't the end of the turn yet. Okay. So that was, I want to say that was Millstone that I kind of jogged around. One of them. It might have been Millstone. So here's where I definitely win, and now I'm putting down my influence. I put 5 on Thresher, 4 on Tater, put 3 on Jackstraw because I'm planning on scoring this turn. And then that's pretty much it where I'm putting my influence. Might have one more that I throw down somewhere.
Okay, so I'm putting Shark down over here, trying to be out of the threat range of
Tater.
Both Tater and Thresher, which they are. He is from these straight on shots, but you'll see what happens. Tater ends up using the fast ground to get a little bit extra movement by taking a weird angle. But I wanted to be within the range of going to Jack Straw and hopefully peeling that ball off, and then maybe kicking it down to Sakana and get a snapshot. Yeah. I was just kind of in desperation mode. So I probably could have thought it through and circled my fisherman around you if I had a little bit more time.
Yeah, I think just the fact that this is like your second or third time playing fish, that you were low on clock and you're just like, okay, here's what when you're low on clock,
you just go for broke.
You got to make decisions and just go with it.
Yeah.
You don't have time to second guess yourself.
So yeah, I'm close to the edge of the board here. You're going to activate and then knock him off the board.
Yeah, here's where you're like, oh, I don't know if you can do that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm totally going to hit this fast ground. Because Tater has 2-inch reach, so you're kind of measuring directly, but I don't have to take a direct line. So we're just kind of measuring just to make sure.
Yep. So just enough, and
I think you defensive stance here, hoping that I whiff.
I don't remember.
I think you did. I think you boosted it up to a 5-1, but I only need like 2 hits with Tater to do, or 3 hits with Tater to do my push.
Yeah.
And I did, and I threw him off the board. So now I'm up 9-8.
But it's over at this point.
Yeah.
Like there's no way that I can get the ball back and come back.
Were you just out of 8 there to blind Scarecrow? Is that what was just happening?
I don't remember.
I think so. All right, so here I'm just going to set up basically a free jump so I can jog over into tap in range.
Who did I activate here?
You did Tentacles and you blinded Thresher.
Oh, okay.
Like, you really didn't have a great move. It was kind of like, once you lost Shark, it was pretty much over at that point. So I go ahead and get myself in tap in range with Scarecrow. I already had a bunch of momentum, so I bonus time this, and I end up scoring the game-winning goal.
So this is actually a good example of how when you're playing, good players can get 2 goals, and I think that a lot of people, as they're coming along in Guild Ball, they think, man, I got 2 goals, like, that's great, and I'm really progressing, and it was a close game.
Yep.
But the reality is the difference between a good player and an elite player is in that art of getting the 3rd goal.
The 3rd goal is the most difficult goal to get because by the time you get that 2nd goal, your pieces are either really spread out, maybe you've lost a couple, and then you have to manufacture this 3rd goal, which can be, as we saw, it can be very difficult.
Yeah, so I think it's good for people to realize there's kind of a balance, right, where there have been times where we've played games maybe against a player that's newer and it's a close game, but we know it wasn't close.
Yeah.
The final score was 8-12 or something like that,
yeah.
But we know that it wasn't close. And there are other times where we played a game that was a big win, but it was a lot closer than that big win looked like because
there was
easily
just
they could have
like a die roll that didn't go your way, or you missed a goal when it should have been an easy goal. So I agree with that, and that was actually a really close game. Like I had to actually, even though it was the Farmers, I had to work pretty hard to bring that back to close because, like I said, if I lost the ball at all after that 2nd goal, it was done.
Well, and at the same time, it goes to a point that I've been making for a long time, which is that those Farmers are really OP. Like, for me to go up 8-0 and have you come back and outscore me 12-0, that's a pretty... Most teams aren't able to do that.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't play... I made mistakes, absolutely. We talked about them. I've made mistakes throughout that game with the fishermen, but the only reason why the Farmers were able to come back is because they have a whole bunch of tools that a lot of people are looking forward to them getting nerfed.
Yeah, I mean, and it's also one of those things where I think you do have to outsprint the farmers. Like, they can generate so much victory points quickly, where I feel like a shark list is a good opportunity to outscore them quickly. So I think that if you do play against Thresher, I think that the longer you drag it out, probably the worse it's going to be for you.
Yeah, the other aspect is, I think, bringing Jack Straw into the other farmers and having him close by to those other farmers is a really good thing to make happen.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to do after your first goal, but then Shark came around and touched me in my no-no place.
Well, but when you look at it, what you did with him is, although you did go get the ball, you then kind of went back a little bit more toward your goal and toward that corner of the pitch. I think you could have laid the harvest markers and jumped and kept jumping toward your own guys.
I mean, I kind of did. It's just I had to use my jump to go back, scoop the ball up, and then jump. I jumped back towards my team after I got the ball.
Okay.
But I had to go get the ball.
But anyway, that's what I think needs to be made aware of, is getting that third goal is what separates really elite players, and this is what I'm talking about as it relates to the farmers, where they have some huge advantages as far as being able to swing
the game quickly.
Yes, very quickly.
Yeah, and that's why, and this isn't just a farmers thing, this is also for you players that if you do get down early, like I was down 8-0, and it's like, even though that seems like, oh man, this game's done, you can come back from it. You just got to have a plan. You got to be like, okay, like I said, I got to hold on to the ball until I'm going to win the game.
Yeah.
So
we'll throw this up on YouTube soon, and I don't think we threw a lot of salt in that game. I think that
was pretty civil.
Well, and not to mention, it's not like I was having my heart and soul in playing those fishermen.
Yeah, it's not like this is a guild you care about.
Yeah, so there's that. But until next time, roll dice, throw salt. We'll see you then.